The Central Club.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the Central Club. This episode is brought to you by Reinspire Printing and Boss Security. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the club, and hit the bell button to be notified of future content. Today, as you can see, we are in a totally different scene. We're in the same studio, but it's looking a bit different because today we've brought the sofa behind the backdrop. We've had two special guests today on the same seat. They were actually a couple, and they're not your run-of-the-mill couple. They're actually homeless on the streets of Cardiff. And one of the big things we highlighted on here was drug use. You might also see in the background some people with cameras. Don't be alarmed. They are the BBC, who are actually here filming a documentary as well. A really important documentary, all on about the rise of crack use within Wales, especially rural areas. So if you are between the ages of 18 and 30 in particular, we are looking to speak to people. We are looking to reach out and get information. Please DM me. I'm involved in this documentary as well. It's not just the BBC, but DM me. Let's have a chat. Let's try and raise some more awareness about this, and let's make a great documentary. Can you tell me your names?
Yeah, I'm Gavin. Nice to see you again, guys.
And I'm Vicky.
Yeah. And where are you from, guys?
I'm from Pontypridd originally, but I spent most of my time down Cardiff.
Same, I'm from Pontypridd, but I've been living in Cardiff, homeless now for quite a number of years.
And you two are together, yeah?
Yeah.
Been together for 22 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seen a lot as well together as well. You know, so.
And been through a lot.
Yeah. It's like I've always wanted a front door key. Never, I don't look like I'm gonna get one anyway. I was on this. What was it Wheels Online? Is it once upon a
Yeah,
time?
that's right.
Yeah, I had a few like thumbs up and what have you, like, but nothing come of it. But like the council are absolutely useless. They think of themselves before they think about other people. What can I say? I call it a vicious circle. Because I say once you're in our circle, it's hard to get out of. I just started taking drugs because I would have thought it would have made life a lot easier on the streets, but it didn't. It just made it harder. I got into debt, whatever, but I'm still homeless. So I just don't know what to do next. I've got this thing in my head. I want to kill myself. Yeah, because I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting I'm 46 years of age. I've got nothing in my life. It's like you guys have done more for me and more the council have done completely. Really.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, it's not about us either. It's about other people as well. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like I'm better off than some people because some people haven't got a clue what street life is all about. If you know what I mean, and I end up taking drugs, end up dead, basically, ODing or whatever.
We've seen a lot on the streets since we've been
out. The council are rubbish. They just don't do anything. Go on. So
what I want to do is I want to take you back then. Maybe you can both kind of jump off each other, but what was your upbringings like? I
had a pretty good upbringing. You know, I wasn't spoiled, anything like that. You know, anything I wanted, you know, I had to work for it, so basically. But yeah, my mother brought me up as best she could. I've lost her now to cancer about 15 years ago. And ever since, everything's just been upside down, basically.
Yeah, my upbringing wasn't that good. My mum and dad, well, the guy I thought was my dad, it turned out not to be my dad. My mum used to drink. My stepdad used to drink. So I went through a bad, rough experience. I was forced, my childhood was sort of taken from me because I had to pick my brother and sister from school, cook for them, so my childhood was sort of taken from me early to try and replace the parents, which they didn't have, kind of thing. And then I don't know if I should be saying this for you or no, but yeah, my brother and sisters were actually my stepdad used to abuse them in different kinds of ways. So we all got split, put into care then, you know. And, but yeah, so going through all that and seeing what my mum went through, I ran away from home when I was 15. And I used to like sleep through the day and then just come out for food in the nights, like, you know. And that was the magic roundabout. I slept there for years. And then when I was about 17, then I met back up with Gavin. And I met him in a magistrate's court.
Charming.
But yeah, and we've been together ever since. But we've struggled like through the time we've been together.
Struggling all
a
bloody
lot.
time with me, really.
But I think that's brought us closer as well.
You get some people, and you got some people from the valleys that comes down to feed us. Well, feed us all.
Yeah.
Amazing people. How could I say? So I'm 46. I'm still homeless. The council making out the goody with the outreach. The outreach only comes around just to make sure if you're alive, or just
Take your name to the
or
police.
take your name in so they can give to the police and to tell the police where you are and what have you. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, it's bloody rubbish. To be honest, that's all I want, bro. Is a front door key. I'm not
Just
asking
where
for
normal
much.
people go.
No, something
normal
I
things.
can actually call home.
Yeah.
So you come to Cardiff to seek a house, was it?
Well,
What was?
Well,
what
I
was
come to
back home like?
Cardiff. I come to Cardiff because there wasn't much options in Virginia because that's where I was at that time. I'd be told about Cardiff, like they got more options when I come down here. Basically,
Yeah, we thought because it was a city, it was a bigger place. We'd have more chance getting in somewhere. But we didn't realise at the time when we came here then, we was just hitting barriers, wasn't
yeah,
it?
basically,
And
yeah.
like the problem we had, because we was a couple, the council was saying, well, we haven't got nowhere for couples, you know. So
So that's more money for them, man.
So we actually-
they claim it's separate. you
we
know what I mean?
actually done like a trial thing called Shake It, didn't we?
Yeah,
With Tresillian and the council, where we had the first couple to be put into a shared room in Tresillian, and we was there for about 3 months, and then we went from there to the Haggett, didn't we?
yeah.
I had a room there for about a year, and then it was some Christmas time then, wasn't it? Someone died in there on our landing, and the shake was up then, and we left, and we got put back out onto the street again, back into the city centre, like, you know. But we keep getting told by the council, there's just not much
It's
help
like
for couples, you know.
It's like I tried pulling a stunt a couple of weeks ago. I was thought, like, because I got, like, family and down in Virginia and I goes down to the council down there. They done all, like, all the read-through and stuff like that. And they put us in, like, sort of floor space. They put us there for 4 days, left us for 4 days, and then on the weekend then we were
Sunday
told then to
morning.
leave the place. So basically go back on
Said
the
we had
street.
no duty of care.
Yeah, they reckon I have no duty of care in Virginia, but my duty of care is in Cardiff. But I've no long come to jail for something I didn't do it anyway, but I've done 7 months. I comes back out, I back on the streets again, out of jail. I just think it's all wrong, mate. How can I say, I'm not a racist or anything like that, but about all the times I've been out on the streets and I've seen like 1 or 2 black people, homeless, but I've never seen Chinese people, Indians or stuff like that. Because I think our government looks after them better than what they do us. Not being nasty and like that, but
Stating
believe
what
in,
you're-
like-
this is
Yeah.
what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You know, we see this with politicians who who always shout this, but you know, I don't think people listen as much. But you're actually on the street seeing this. So how
Yeah.
does that make you feel?
well,
Angry.
like I said, I've got a thing in my head all the time. I want to kill myself.
I'm
Because
scared.
I'm not getting anywhere. It's like when I've gone to the council, explain, you know, I can't be doing this no more. You know what I mean? And they'll just say anything just to
Yeah, we
fob
just
you
get
off,
palmed
you know, or this they like how can I say, passing the buck to somebody else or somebody else's fault, not theirs. Do you know what I mean? It's just like whatever they got going, it just doesn't work. Like, do you know what I mean?
So, I think we'll go through some of the struggles you've been through. You're already talking about them actually, but I think we need to go back to the drug use because I think it plays
Yeah.
a big part in
Yeah.
people's judgment on you and probably the priority they have to help you. Would you agree with that as well?
Yeah, most definitely.
So when did you start taking drugs?
Well, to be honest with you, mate, I've been homeless for a while now. I thought I'd start taking drugs, I would have thought it would have made life a bit more easier, but it weren't.
Found it.
It just made it harder, basically. And now I'm in the middle of getting off him. I'm on rehab. I've done most of what I was supposed to have done, you know. I don't use no more because I knew it was the biggest mistake of my life, you know what I mean? So I made life a bit more harder. But yeah, I'm getting it through now. They cut me down and they're going to put me on a butanol injection.
Brilliant.
So that's even better again. Like.
So were you telling me you took drugs whilst on the streets to
Yeah.
kind of take away the pain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
I was
Hoping
hoping,
it was
yeah.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't. It was there the next day. Or like when reality kicks in, it's there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't take it away and then I gas. Same with alcohol. Some people have a drink, takes the problem away
Try and
that day,
block
but
it
it's always there the next day. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, we're not asking for much. I'm not asking for $1 billion or money. That's all I want. It's a roof over my head. That's all I want. I'll make me a little more happier, me and my partner.
Do you
Yeah.
think people think though, well, we've given them a hostel, we've given? Do you think that they think that if you're leaving these places after however long, they're thinking, well, we've given them the chance?
Yeah, well, they put us in a place like that, like, because like at the end of the day, we're giving up the drugs. What's in there, bruv? Honestly, God, most majority of the people in there fucking taking the
Yeah.
drugs or they selling them, mention no names or anything like
It's
that.
become like the
Do you know what I mean?
second hugget.
So basically, it's just like jumping out to the fire pan into the fire, like basically, like, you know what I mean? So that's why I rather not do hostels, because like
Yeah.
if you've got something and somebody wants it, they'll kick your door in just to get what they want, like basically. That's why we'll not
Put
do
socks
hostels.
over the cameras. I walk up with my pockets cut open.
Oh yeah.
While sleeping on floor space. I caught a kidney infection through sleeping on the hugget floor, even though I was on a roll mat as well. And I had a bad infection, didn't I?
Yeah.
It took me down there. I did for about 3 months, really ill, to a point where I couldn't even... Gavin, my partner, had to pick me up and carry me to the toilet. I couldn't even
Yeah.
lift an ashtray, you know, through that infection. I was very, very ill, wasn't I? I thank him for that.
This is a vicious circle, to be honest with you.
But I'm
And I feel
just
sorry
scared
for
of-
all the youngsters out there as well, because like
I
we
just
like
want
we,
us to be able to, like, say something and be able to make a change so that other people haven't got experience or see what we've experienced and seen whilst being out on the street, you know?
What are some of the barriers as a couple?
well, the barriers is their little excuses. They don't do rooms for couples. I obviously what that's about, then it's more money in it. If we like had a couple's room, it'd be less money for them. So if we do it separate, they get more money.
Yeah.
Well, we were
So-
guinea pigs for a couple of months
Yeah.
for the council while we were the first ones to get put into a shade care.
Well, how did that go? Like, why did you?
It
leave?
went fine, but this was in Tresillian House, and for some reason they decided to take away the shade care, and then me and Gav got put into the Hugget then. We had a single room right next door to each other, didn't we? And basically we was sleeping in one room and then using the other one just to chill in, like, you know, in the day. And then after about 3-4 months of being there, Gav,
And it wasn't hard as well. They did put me in literally.
that's right, Litchfield
Yeah.
Court was after.
I was
after
there for
Hugget.
4 years. And out of 4 years I was there, my life was, well, how can I say?
It went worse.
It was bad, mate. So I've had run-ins.
For example, give me an example.
I've had a run-in, well, how can I say?
Security
You
guards
got
being drug
people
dealers.
banging the window, asking you to go upstairs to get drugs for them or whatever. Yeah. It's just
Sorry, what did you just say?
The security guards that work in Litchfield Court are drug dealers from Cardiff Docks, and they actually walk around Litchfield Court actually shorting drugs whilst working. And when
You've
I told
got proof of this, have you?
yeah, and when I told my key worker, she was like, they wouldn't be able to get badges, no security badges. And I said, I promise you now, if they are drug dealers from the docks, because we recognised them,
Who
didn't
used
we?
to be off them, for God's sake?
You know. And then one day, one of the security guards actually sold you a stone
Yeah,
under my
yeah.
bathroom window.
Because I was rowing with them. Because like I won't get anything done. I was trying to tell them, like, you know, you need to do your job tidy, like stop
they went and
people from
sold you a
coming in who
stone.
doesn't live there. But yeah, there's people coming there who don't even live there,
Yeah.
banging the windows,
One day I
early
had-
hours of the morning. Well,
one day I had my window open for air.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy, all of a sudden, me and Gav looked, we could see an arm and a leg coming through the window. So he's jumped up. What are you doing, mate? Oh, I'm just taking a shortcut upstairs.
Because it's
You know?
all intercom and all Lachlan Central. That.
Yeah, the door's outside in the passage lock.
So that was the only way you could get
So
in.
we thought I'll climb in through the window and try and get in. The amount of people that's died in that place in Litchfield Court, I can't.
I
mean,
call it a death centre, I do, and I.
Yeah.
Well, I know a few.
Yeah,
I
quite
knew
a few.
have passed, and,
It seems
and
like-
that was a place I'd go to. That was a go-to for me as well. If I was either looking for drugs or a place to go
Yeah.
and smoke, I'd
It's
literally
become
go.
the second Hugget. They really have,
Come a second, I'll get
You got
bloody hell,
to,
well.
like, literally, you can't go through the main doors. Like, they're all sitting there smoking crack,
Yeah.
taking heroin,
On the main door.
smoking spice, and you've literally got to squeeze your body through them to get out onto the road, like.
And
it's
if you're trying
to come off
you know,
drugs.
what's your perception? What's your like kind of outlook when you're given a key to a place after being on the streets? What's
Yeah.
your first?
Well,
are you
I
excited? for
Scared.
it?
I was excited but very scared
I
as well.
believe
you
in
know.
like when you have your own front door key,
Yeah.
and you close your front door, you should feel safe in your own home. But no, I was literally
I
living
used to
on
sleep-
our nerves.
I used to go to
basically.
sleep with pepper spray, a Colch, and a snooker cue. That's what I used to go to sleep with.
Just in case.
By the
'Cause-
side of my bed, because the window situation, people just climbing in, or I'd have people then just walking in through the door.
Yeah, or like they've knocked the door, and they've knocked the window on because you haven't answered the window. Wait till you come outside here, we're going to bat you when you come out for not answering. And
Because they want to come in to use.
Yeah, basically.
yeah,
And the
basically.
biggest like fear I had while I was there was just not coming out one day or coming out in a bag, because I can count like 10, maybe 7, 8 people that's died in the last couple of years.
I know one or two, and well, we were talking about. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, we was talking about like Lamo, Cayley Hill. There's quite a few,
Yes, we was
few
like,
people.
if
What
you-
happened? And what
Janine
happened?
Roderick.
What did you say happened with Lamo?
Lamo, he had an abscess in his groin. He was quite flared up. Me and my partner Gav had left to go to, I think it was to see family of his for 2 days. Lamo was in a really bad mess, and when we came back, there was all this black blood going up the stairs, followed the trail to his door.
Yeah.
And basically, when I said to the staff, what's gone on, they said, oh, Lamo died 2 days ago. He bled out. So I said, what do you mean he bled out? And obviously, I went into his room, seen all the blood on the bed, and said our goodbyes to him and everything. And yeah, so then I got told then that basically when his abscess to use, he popped the abscess, run through the door scared, looking at the cameras, 'cause it was just flying out of him, pointing at the cameras for help, for someone to come up the stairs and help him. And then he just went back into his room, lay down, and he's passed away, So we've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah,
in
it just
that
seems
building.
like they think you're a druggie, and they think we'll chuck them in with these like this drug centre, leave them die.
Yeah.
Because that's what it
And
feels like,
when I kept saying to the staff, when are we gonna get moved on? I've been here for like over 4 years. They kept saying, oh, you're not ready, or we don't think we should move you on yet. And I'm like, well, I don't use drugs anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to be kept in this place with all these. I don't mind being around people on drugs, but I don't want to live. Like Gav said, your front door, when you go home, you should feel safe there.
Sure.
But I was going in, and I was, even if someone made a bang, I jumped.
Yeah.
And I'd cry, and I weren't eating. I was losing my hair. I went really grey. I looked like an old woman in like 2 or 3 weeks.
You
I
lost
was really
loads of
bad.
weight.
Yeah,
Your hair was falling out.
that's right to say.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was
So-
bad.
Well, I've obviously known Gavin since me and Gavin shared my
Been a
first
while, hasn't it?
my first prison sentence. He was my first ever pad mate, and he looked after me quite well because
Done my best, bro.
I obviously was rattling off the heroin myself, and when I saw you in Cardiff, like you was the same person, and then I've seen you now, and the decline in you and you from when you first come here
Yeah.
is really, really sad to see.
Yeah.
And I think again, going back to what you just said about they think we're druggies,
Mhm.
but you two are not even. Well, especially you, Vic. You're on Bouverdal right
Yep.
now, aren't you?
Don't
But
Yeah.
proud of her.
7 months I've been on it now. I feel so much better. I've put weight on. I didn't think I'd ever see myself go on Benuvenol, because when I was on heroin, someone mentioned a bag the other day. You know, I loved it, like, you know, and I don't think Gab ever thought I was going to come off it
No.
at one point, you know. And then when Gab went to prison, it was a case of I tried killing myself basically, and I woke up with all police there and paramedics there, and they said, well, you've got an option, you come to hospital with us or you come to the police station. So I got taken to hospital, seen a psychologist called Kelly Fry, which I still got to see now because it's a police order thing. And so they said, we're not letting you have methadone anymore. You've tried killing yourself. It's either going to be Subutex or the Buvanol. And I was a bit scared.
Buvidal.
I was a bit scared of going on it because I didn't know, like, what to expect. But yeah, I was in town one day and reality just went, woof, have that on your face, you know? And I'd missed that. I missed reality for a long time, like, but I love it now.
Best thing ever.
Yeah, and now
Can't
Gavin's
beat the natural life. Yeah, when you wake up in the morning, breathe
Well,
out
some
fresh
people
air.
struggle with that, don't they? The fact
Yeah.
that, you know, you've been quite comfortable with that is amazing. I
Yeah.
just think the real sad thing is that people still look at you like
Yeah.
a drug addict.
Yeah.
And I just want to kind of interject because I'm working in services now. I see you all the time,
Yeah.
don't I? You know, I try and do my best. I think I want to know what your perception is because now I'm on the other side. I see that these places, like the Huggard,
Yeah.
it is bad, but the people who work there, like there are some good people in them
Oh
services.
yes,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Don't
And
get
they
me wrong.
it's like it's gone past sometimes. It's gone past what can we do here?
Yeah.
And they're trying to make the most out of the best situation.
Of course.
Same with the council, the city servants. They come to me all the time. We want to learn more. We want more training on the locks, and we want to help these people. And of course, you get good individuals and bad individuals.
Yeah.
But what do you put the blame on? Do you put the blame on services? Do you think it's above that? Is it the council? Is it the government? Like, what is it that you got a gripe with?
Well, basically, it's the government and the council, really,
Yeah.
innit? You know,
It's not the people that work in the hostels.
they
it's
look
the
after
actual-
they look after better.
Well, apart from security guards who sell
apart from
crack.
the security guards that sell
Yeah,
That's
that's
absolutely
drugs
disgusting.
whilst working on their job, like, you know.
To be honest, so yeah, they look after people from different countries. I'm not a racist or anything because they're all like me, got blood and what have you. But it seems like they look after people better and what they do after looking after their own. So, do you think
Yeah,
that?
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been on the streets now for some years now, and I've never seen like not many people from like how can I say Czechoslovakia, what do you call Romanians,
It's
Chinese.
frustrating.
Well,
I've
to
seen
be honest,
po-
I do see some of them, but I find that they're not homeless. They
Yeah.
work in a gang, and what they do is they all. And do you know how I know this? They have like the cardboard saying "I'm homeless, need money."
yeah, that's
that's
right,
right.
yeah.
But they all have the same cardboard with the same writing. So it's
Yeah.
as if
Wow.
someone sat there in a room and wrote
And
like
writing.
5 of them and said, "Get out there and do this." Like,
Yeah.
but none of them are homeless,
yeah,
or they live in a shared house, or
yeah,
yeah.
like a
Like-
big house, like,
But
yeah.
what I hate is that you guys are actually out there struggling to find a place to live and struggling to eat. And one thing that what I've seen with you guys is a lot of people who are just out there for the drugs. You know, they don't want sandwiches, they don't want food, they just want, you know,
They
they're
want
sat
money
around
for
with like
drugs.
100
Yeah,
sandwiches. But you guys, I've seen it today.
yeah,
You know, like you actually appreciate you're there trying to survive.
yeah,
You
Well,
know,
it's all we can bloody do.
Yeah.
Try to make it best as we can. Like,
I'm
but
just scared of giving up because if I give up, I'm just frightened of, like, no.
it's like if I didn't have a partner or I didn't have no kids and like that, I think I would have put an end to my life. You know, I got that in my head at all times. Like, you know, I don't want to do it, but it's just like I've got no one to go to, I've got no one to talk to, I've got no one to run to. It's just like basically I'm just there on my own, like, you know. But like I said, I got my partner. If I didn't have it, I think I'd put an end to it all.
well, you mentioned Vic
Mhm.
earlier that he tried taking his life. on
Yeah,
the
he
bridge.
did. That was quite scary. He went to jump off the Millennium Stadium bridge. I wasn't there at the time. I was in our room in Litchfield, and one of my friends came running to me and said, "Quick, Gavin's just try jumping."
Yeah, and the way I got treated by Cardiff police as well, I felt like
yeah.
they treated me like
They
a criminal.
ripped him off the bridge, and when I got to him, the police were actually kneeling on his back, rubbing his
Rub my face in the
into the actual
concrete.
concrete. His face was a mess from that concrete.
And I was just trying to kill
And that was
myself.
with
I
him
was.
just trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that was with him just trying to kill himself, and it did scare me. I'm just scared of
Cardiff
losing him.
police are bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Really scared
Yeah.
of losing him, man.
Talking about police, talking about being arrested, You've been to prison a few times. What's it like? What's your thought process when you're in prison and she's out there?
Well, to be honest, I was just gutted because I was in the wrong place in the wrong time, and I felt kind of bad because I was in somewhere, and I know she's out on the bloody streets, like, you know what I mean? You know, out to all the elements and what have you, and there's a lot of, like, don't get me wrong, there's nice people out there, but there's a lot of nasty people out there too. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you're sleeping in the doorways, you got people walking around, checking you out, trying to, like, if they see you sleeping, they'll go through your pockets, and if you can't get through your pockets, they'll cut your pockets out of your trousers
Yeah.
with a pair of scissors, like, you know what I mean? That's how bad it is, like, you know? Or you got, like a few years ago now, you saw this, like, it was two of them, it was like, one was walking through,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was phoning his mate there and saying, oh, this person's sleeping. He's
In the
this-
doorway, there's
in
another
a
guy in his
certain place.
doorway, and this other guy would come out then with a knife and then rob him,
Yeah.
rob people, wouldn't he? So I
Rob,
went,
rob
yeah.
homeless people.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
So I actually got up one night and ran towards him stupidly
Yeah.
with a knife, didn't I? I was
Yeah.
lucky that night, I think. Yeah, and I rang the police. I had to, didn't I?
Yeah.
He was carrying a knife about that big, wasn't he? Like a carving knife or some kind of knife with ridges on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was he a drug user himself?
I most probably, yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't really know him, but I think so, just by
Yeah.
looking at him. But I don't want to judge anyone, but I think he must
Well,
have
for
been.
someone to do that for money, they got to be desperate for something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it.
And yourself, Vic, when he's in prison, what goes through your mind?
Petrified, too scared. Like I was actually being bullied. Like
Yeah, I was going to say, and tell him
the
the
7
truth, like.
months that Gavin was in, you've just come out on you've just come out now on the 23rd of May. He was in for 7 months. It was the worst 7 months of my life. I was being tortured, bullied, having my money taken off me. Like I said, I was losing my hair, too scared to go to sleep in the nights. It was getting to the point where I couldn't take no more, like, you know. And Gav's solicitor said he was going to be looking at a long time. So I was like, oh, I didn't know what to do. I was going to leave Cardiff, but I just wanted to see if he was going to come out. And then one day I was in town and you came walking back through town, didn't you? He got released from Newport Crown Court, thank God. But yeah, petrified, terrifying when you're sleeping out there on the streets on your own, and then you got to face being bullied, tormented, having your money taken by people who are on the streets themselves, this was. And I couldn't, people were just like, support was like, oh, ring the police. And I was like, I'm not ringing the police. So I had to just put up with what they were doing.
Classes of grass, isn't it?
Exactly. So
Basically.
I was just putting up with it. And then the day Gav come out of prison, it just all stopped, like nothing had happened, like, you know.
Because they know.
That's worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, very scary.
So they know for a fact.
Just press start again, bro. It's fine.
Very
Sorry.
scary. It's okay. Really scary, and I never want to go through
And I
it.
won't wish on anybody else,
Yeah.
especially the younger generation as well, because like we discussed, it's going to be like younger people, like the younger generation.
Are you seeing that now?
Well, yesterday I was actually sat in town begging by M&S, and this young guy, he wanted to go to sleep. He was suffered with autistic, is it?
Autism.
Yeah.
That's it. And
Autism, that's it, yeah.
he was really like just wanted to put his head down, and he put his head down in a doorway just up from M&S, and it took 2 police on horses to come out, move him, and he said, I just want to go to sleep. So he come over, sat by me, put his head by me, and went to sleep by me, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was like, I just want to be left
Only
alone.
young.
And he was only about 19,
Yeah.
20, you know, and he was crying, everyone was looking at him, and he was like, I'm autistic.
Because I'd see it as like, 'cause when I see someone like that, yeah, they need help. They
Yeah, of
need help
course.
off someone. Especially when they suffer with autistic as well, like, you know what I mean?
19, that's all he was as well.
And he
I
was
felt really
homeless.
sorry for him. So he doesn't bother then. I mean, he's one of these ones which is alone, that kind of thing. You know, he's always on his own. And yeah, to be on the streets on your own, I know to turn to and be that have autism as well.
That's why I say, I look at some people, like some homeless people, and I say, think to myself, well, I'm better off than him, because I've been
Yeah.
on the streets longer than him, and I've
We
learned
sort of know the
to
street life,
survive,
don't we?
like, people like that when they first start on the street, you know what I mean?
We've actually taught a
They-
few
they-
people the street life
same
as
thing.
well.
Yeah, I'm going to want to go to, no one to talk to, because that's very frustrating when you can't speak to someone and nothing gets done about it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's damn cruel, to be honest with you, yeah.
How
It's
do
not
you...
like
Oh, go on, sorry.
it's not like us. We've got each other. We can talk
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
You know.
It's just
But-
sometimes that can be the extra worry.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you think, I wish I was just on my own, in the sense of I ain't got to worry about
Mhm.
her or him, you know?
Yeah.
Talk us through where you stay. How do you stay? How do you sleep at night? Where do you sleep at night?
Well, we've tried tents.
That doesn't work.
They'll tell us to move on, or if
Mhm.
not, they might probably get wangled,
We've been
or somebody
sleeping.
else has taken them. So we give up on the tents.
Mhm.
So what we do is just get a bit of cardboard, put it on the floor, get our kipping bags.
Yeah, not just anywhere though. Like we've
No,
been
not just
sleeping
anywhere.
like the Crown Court, the university, just up a
You
little bit
just
from
feel a
there.
bit safer if you're around cameras.
Yeah,
So
basically.
if anything does happen to us, they ain't gonna get away with it. And like, I just hope they.
Well, you have everything, don't you? You got to worry about people like who are coming up
all
with
the time,
knives.
all the time.
The worrying ones, the most sad ones, are just the normal public.
Yeah.
You know, like probably on nights out and that.
Yeah.
I've seen some bad things.
Oh yeah, we've had
Yeah.
bottles bounced off us, and we've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
people. We woke up. Well, I woke up with somebody peeing over my sleeping bag. It's ridiculous. Grown men as well. You don't
Yeah.
expect that from grown people, like, you know. Chucking bottles. We've had bottles bounce off us. We've had,
Yeah.
like I said, people urinating over us, chucking food at us while we've been trying to sleep.
Oh, if you had a tent, they'd actually jump into the tent if you're in it or not. So yeah,
We've
As if it's a
actually
joke and it's a bit of fun for them.
We've
We've
innit?
Yeah.
even seen like
basically.
somebody set a tongue of
there's a lot
a
of sick
trainer.
ones out there.
A tongue of a trainer on fire and chuck it into Jason Probation's tent, and the tent stuck to the top of him,
Yeah.
didn't it? And
What?
Yeah, it was
the
back
tent.
about 2 or 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
they
Wasn't it?
threw a trainer in by Superdrug on the top of Queen Street
They lit the
into
tongue
the
up.
tent, lit the
tongue
tongue
up
of a
to
trainer
there.
and threw it in, and he was sleeping, like smoking weed at the time, and the tent started melting, and some of it caught his skin where he was trying to run out, got out through the tent, and it caught him, and it actually stuck to the top of his head and neck,
Yeah.
you know. And I was up on by the top of Superdrug on Queen Street. That was about 2 years ago.
Do you need a work uniform? Want to start a clothing brand? Or maybe you have a football kit that needs a logo printed? Well, if I was you, I'd get in touch with the Re-Inspire Printing Company down Treforest Industrial Estate for the finest printing and embroidery in Wales. I use them for my custom-made mankini, but you could use them for t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and many, many other things.
There's something we were talking about before we came on camera, and it's very sad, really, because I was broken some news this morning of someone who passed away, who we both know, and then you told me there was another 2 people in the last 3 days. So you're actually seeing recently a lot of people kind of popping off, really.
Yeah, a lot. It's quite
I
scary.
just don't want it to be any of us.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, we do care about people and all. Like, you know, but what we see in, like, it's quite scary, like,
Frightening.
you know.
Yeah. So
And
what?
you always got that thing in the back of your mind all the time, like, you know, wondering what's going to happen from one day to the next, like, you know, there's always something going on, like, you know what I mean? It's like where I can, like, if I had like a flat I could be in, and I won't be around that sort of environment, like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm going back about 7 months ago, about 8 months ago.
Yeah.
When I was on the streets, so you do get problems with Cardiff University security. And if you see you lying down somewhere that you're not supposed to be, they come along, tell you, come on, you gotta move on. Well, I had one night, I can't remember, but one night I was so tired, and everywhere I was going, it seemed like they were following me. Basically, in the end, I ended up falling asleep in a buffer bin. To get woken up in early hours of the morning by being chucked out of the bin into the back of the lorry, and then seeing something come towards me. I knew what
crush
it was.
you.
It was the crusher, which crushes all the rubbish and what have you. And I was screaming for my life, basically. And then, like, the seconds turned into minutes, because I could just see my life like
Flashing.
flashing in front of my eyes, basically. And all of a sudden, they just come to a stop, back door open, then in the lorry. What are you doing in here? Well, you just chuck me in here, for God's sake, like, you know, because by right, they're supposed to check the bins and all,
Yeah.
like, you know, but there's a camera inside the lorry itself, so, yeah, they give me a bollock again, but I broke my ribs.
It was black from the arm to you.
on my
the
left
bum.
side, and I also done my back in as well on the hydraulicals, because where I was chucked out of the bin, I'd say it's about like
Well, it's a big
8
height, yeah.
Yeah, 7-8 foot drop out of the bin into the lorry. Yeah. So yeah, I done my back and everything. I couldn't get out of the lorry, so they had to carry me out of the
Put a
lorry.
ladder down for you to get out.
And I see the PSSOs, the police officers.
Yeah.
They come on to me a couple of days after that, and they were quite aware of what happened. So I take it that the people with the asthma
Informed.
The talk of the
in touch
town.
with them, like, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm lucky to be here. To be
Very
honest with you.
lucky.
Yeah. Have you had anything like that,
No.
Vic? Any?
I argued with him that day, so I didn't know his whereabouts because he's hard to find being in Cardiff City Centre, like. But when I got told by the police he nearly got killed, and I seen the state of from his left arm down to his left side, it was completely jet black. And I mean black, and
Bruised.
all across his back where he was really badly bruised. He was just lying on the floor crying, couldn't even turn,
Oh,
couldn't get up.
me.
He was in so much pain. But I think you wouldn't put your head down in a buffer bin
Oh
again.
no, not again. I'd rather catch a cold from the
Very-
rain or something like that. But
yeah.
it was nice and dry, and I quite cozy, man.
Recycled
Back in the
paper.
bin, like, you know what I mean? That's what I went in there for, because I won't get picked on by the security,
Oh, I
you
love
know.
him.
But yeah, people
I
make
felt
it
so
hard
bad.
for you as well. Like, you know, I don't suppose he don't mean to be, but
Are you talking about the public?
yeah. It's like, I'm not being funny. I've had a lot of help off the public. I've had more help off the public than what I've had off the
Yeah.
council, basically. Like, and I know for a fact half these public people, if they had a house, they give it to me. But I know council got houses, yeah, and they just want to know, like, you know, basically. It's like when I was taking drugs before. I'm not doing it no more.
No.
I'm under like going a program now with dip
The bottle.
the bottle.
Yeah.
I've been on the methadone now for a while now, so I've asked them now to like, I want to go on the butanol injection, like. So what they gotta do is knock me down off the methadone to put me on that.
Yeah.
Do you mean? But I've seen so many people's lives changing on that. So that's what I wanted, basically.
I think the problem we got is, why do people want to come off drugs when they're on the streets? Like, it's amazing that you guys are not taking drugs, but I don't blame people who are living on the streets to take drugs.
I don't blame them. I think it just drowns it out to them for like that day or them couple of hours, you know, or you might think something's going to change during that time and it doesn't, you know. And then you just get sucked into that loop where you're just hooked before you realise it then, you
vicious
know.
circle.
And then you can't get out of it anyway.
As we call it, innit?
Yeah, basically.
And you know, and also the council got death sentence as well.
But again, I think you've got to want to come
They
off
put
the
all the
drugs.
druggies in one place, waiting for them to all die and whatever. Because that's how I feel, innit? Because they put me in one. I stuck it out for about 3 years. I argued with the security, the staff, because they weren't doing their job. They didn't kick me out, and I've been on the streets ever
And he was
since.
banned for life as well.
It's like
so.
I went to Virginia the other day trying to get down there because all my family are down there. My daughter, my dad, my brother and sisters are down there. They would have given me a place. They put me in a place, floor space for 4 days, and when they got in touch with Cardiff council, they said they had a duty, a care duty up here basically, but they're not doing nothing. So
Because
Virginia's
we've
Virginia done more for me, more what Cardiff done.
It's
They put
because
us
we've
in
been up here for over 3 years. Anything over 3 years just classed as
Cardiff citizen, innit?
basically
Yeah.
we class as Cardiff citizens now. So yeah, basically they told us to boot back to Cardiff and don't come back down here kind of thing.
Basically.
What I want to kind of jump in quickly with is kind of the drug use in the city centre, some of the trends. If we go back 5 years, there was, the public would say zombies everywhere on Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you still seeing that?
not as much, not as when the Spice first come out. When Spice first came out, I actually started smoking Spice, and I had people show me videos of me like smoking it in a doorway once, and what the hell am I doing? And I'd be there doing like ballerina dances, things, stupid things like that, But it takes to see like someone
Making a
else.
fool of yourself,
Basically, yeah. It takes someone else recording it through to think, shit, that's me.
And this
like,
is why we
you know.
want to get off of drugs. I don't want people seeing us like that. Like,
you know,
basically. So we are trying.
But I'm 41 and I just thought, I don't want that drug life anymore. You know, I've got to change. I've got a 10-year-old daughter with Gav who wants to come home, and I'm trying to explain to her that we haven't got a home for her to come home to. You know, when she's going, why, mummy, why, you know, and it's trying to explain that to a 10-year-old, and she's like gone into care from 10 days old, moved around different care homes, and so like this is another reason why I've come off the drugs, because I want to do it for my daughter as well as myself, but I want to do it for my little girl
you was
as well.
in that care system yourself, so you know how it feels.
Exactly, yeah. I was in care for a couple of years, you know, and I was in Silverbrook when I was younger because I actually stabbed my stepfather in the bottom of the back with a barbecue fork because, like I told you, he was abusing my brothers and sisters. So I hid it under my pillow one night and I stabbed him in the bottom of the back for it. So I went into a young detention centre called Silverbrook in Pontypridd for 3.5 years. And
yeah, go on.
And that's when I decided then just to run away from home, and I come to Cardiff and I haven't looked back since.
Crack cocaine, big problem. We've got the BBC here right now actually doing a documentary on it.
So sorry, can you say that line again, please?
Yeah, and listen, guys, right? Gav, put the mic.
Yeah.
Instead of you moving forward.
Okay.
Put the mic forward.
Be conscious of your breathing and bring that forward. And when you're talking,
Yeah.
it's either at me, like
Or the
don't
camera.
look at Luca, yeah.
Don't look at the camera, no.
Don't look at Luca.
Oh, okay.
Like on the other side, like.
Okay.
I bet,
All right, then. We'll do that again then, right? We'll tell you what, we'll take it from the your father's stepfather. So, ready?
Okay. Yep.
You ready, guys?
Yeah, I just needed that line about you saying crack cocaine.
All right, I'm going to take it back.
You do whatever you do.
Is it all right if I... All right, I won't be long, I promise. Just have it ready. Okay, so how does it make you feel knowing that you was in care yourself and now your daughter being there?
Angry because I've experienced being in care, and it wasn't, and Gavas as well, and it's not a very nice place. And
I've been in the same place as her.
thankfully now our little girl is living with was with my dad. My dad's passed on, but she's actually staying with my grandmother at the minute. But she wants to come home, so
Yeah.
this is why I've come off the drugs and just want to get her home so she can come home, and hopefully everything will work out as we want it to work
It's like
out.
you got to want it to do it.
100%.
You know, basically. But we
100%.
don't get no pat on the backs of no one, you know. We'll just pat ourselves on the back. That's about it, really.
Yeah.
But I would have thought, like, you know, go on, boy, like, you know, you've done well, and you know, we can give you a tidy place. But no, they got places for all junkies and what they doing. They're doing whatever they're doing, and then they die in. I call them death centers, because that's what they are, basically. And watching people dying around there, it's quite scary. And
It's sad
like,
and
basically,
scary.
don't want to be like one of us. Yeah, of course it is.
And
Scary.
like we've just lost two.
And
three
some of them are
people.
really good people as well. Like, you know, it never happens to the bad ones. Like, so those are the good people. Like, you know, some of them. Like, so.
I want to jump on about the use of crack cocaine. We have actually got the BBC here filming a documentary on the rise of young age people using crack cocaine and the working class or the high functioning.
Yeah.
You being on the streets, do you see that demographic? Do you see youngsters using it like
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more people are using crack cocaine to bury their head than like a couple of months ago or maybe a few years ago. A few years ago it was mostly spice and heroin. And I found that like when I went to Bridgend a couple of days ago, the whole of Bridgend is all about crack cocaine now. Everyone's on the injection but replacing it with crack cocaine.
Well, this is interesting because one of the things we're trying to do is target those rural areas or those, you know, not as big towns like the city of Cardiff. And you're telling me Bridgend is being affected by that?
Yeah.
Bridgend is
it's
completely,
bad,
everybody's just using crack cocaine. No spice, no heroin down there, just completely all crack cocaine. I was quite shocked, to be honest, because before where the rage was the spice there or the brown, it's now, like I said, the crack cocaine.
But,
And-
but are you seeing people like, yeah, okay, some might have changed drugs, but are you seeing people who wouldn't usually take drugs using it as well?
Yeah.
I've done, yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think they're trying to bury their head like open, like if they. Some of them are trying to copy others, maybe try it for the
Or
first
trying to
time,
get
or
in with
trying to get
certain-
in with people to get liked on the streets, maybe,
Yeah.
or to get in with that gang because they don't want to be on their own.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are doing it as well, just to take that like reality thing away from 'em for just them couple of minutes.
The
you know?
worry,
And
I
the
don't
worry
know,
and
yeah.
what
Yeah,
goes with being on the
and
streets.
cocaine as well, you know, or crack, you would say, you know, 10 years ago, it was probably hard to get in Bridgend. You probably have to come to Cardiff to get it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now it's there. And
It's overflowing down there with it.
yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Well, guys, what I want to ask you is probably the golden question is if you was given a house or given a set of keys, what would your life look like?
Well, a lot better.
I'd have a curved telly. I'd have lush wallpaper. I would.
We'd have a beautiful home in
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
If you envisioned that.
Yeah.
Got in my head all the time.
Yeah. We are.
But,
wouldn't we?
yeah.
And that's what that's what I
That's just what's keeping us going. Like.
basically,
you know?
yeah, is the thought of having
'Cause,
somewhere
like,
nice, you know.
Basically, I was saying to Vicky, to have nice things, you got to have money. And like if you're on the drugs, you're
Can't
not
have
gonna have
nothing
money.
like
so
that.
basically, that was another reason why we had to give it up because, like I said, we wanted nice things and that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And also change our lifestyle as well.
And the
like.
drugs make you older as well. 'Cause
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
definitely, like there's a lot of people which I haven't seen for years, and I've seen like in the last couple of weeks, and I'm thinking, wow, they've aged, like, you know, and that's all through the drugs, like.
It's
Well,
like
I can't say all through the drugs.
it's like I
but-
come out of prison now about 5 weeks ago.
Oh, you looked really well when I first saw you.
Yeah. Basically, it was people coming off the streets because, yeah, they were getting caught, whatever they were getting caught with, basically, and going into the prison. And I'm looking at them like, and I'm thinking to myself, bloody hell, I used to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that no more.
like
do you know what I mean?
sucked in, and
You know, withdrawn, white. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like that. Like, you know what I mean? So I want people to like me, like, you know, not dislike me, like, you know, do you know what I
Well,
mean?
you need to like yourself, Gary.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what it
by all
is.
means, yeah, yeah. I know you gotta like yourself, you know.
love yourself. You can
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like it's just a vicious circle. When you get in that circle, it's hard to get out of. It is, and the council don't do nothing to help us
I
at
hate
all.
the council.
They don't deserve to have the privileges they have, to be honest with you, because like we don't have none of that. Do you know what I mean? Basically, they can go home at the end of the day.
I think we just
back-
numbers of people just on a list, like.
I'm just waiting for us to clock off or something like that.
That's
And
what
then,
it feels like. You know, they're just waiting for us to just like pop it one day, or you know.
because to be honest, for the last couple of years with this COVID-19, I've seen a lot of like people dying, like, you know, druggies, you know,
Yeah.
which have been taking drugs for years, and like they're on all of a sudden they dying.
Their
know what I
immune
mean?
system should have been like strong enough to, if they've been taking that kind of drug for years, why have they just popped the clogs all of a
Exactly.
sudden?
But it just seems like they put them all in one place, and
It's a breeding ground,
it's
then,
bad.
isn't it?
It's bad.
Basically, yeah.
So you got cockroaches in there.
Yeah, the
and-
room I was in Lichfield, there was a guy dead for like a week. We could smell this really bad smell for a week, and the staff wouldn't go in there. And I had big cockroaches, like about like that, crawling at my door. And they were just like, they were biting me when they,
Yeah.
like biting my head and he had bites on his belly, didn't you? Where they were like, because they'll eat anything.
There's
and they
no
were coming
food there.
from
What's the next best
door.
thing? That's in it.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think the staff didn't want to go in there?
I don't know. They in Lichfield, they meant to have they meant to check you like every 2 or 3 hours, or like if you don't get seen for more than 2 days, they meant to come and check on you. But yeah, the guy next door to me was dead for a week.
They just put you in
Same as
there.
Kaylee, she was in
and-
there for 3 days before they found her. You know, and when I said, well, what she did? Oh, she was peaceful. That's all they said.
Yeah.
She was peaceful. You know, and then we've just lost Mina. Just about
Yeah,
Mina.
what happened with
Apparently, what I got told was she committed suicide, but I know people do speak like, but as far as I know, she killed herself. I know she had an immigration tag on, and I think she lost that battle with the immigration people, And then we got told yesterday in town that they found her hanging. But that's all we know so far at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's like, because I've been on the streets for so long now, I was homeless down Bridgend as well. And there's a lot of people down there have like passed
Oh,
away.
and Craig
you know?
Jennings as well. He died Friday, didn't he?
Yeah.
I just want to say rest in peace to all these people. These are people I've known as well,
Mhm.
and it's really sad. And I don't want to see you guys go. Like, I don't want you to be the next ones.
I know, that's what
I'm-
we were scared of, weren't we, babe?
Well, this is why we're doing what we're doing, like, in it, basically. Like, you know, but we've also got that thought in our head, like, you know,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's like I said to you before, I just want to kill myself. That's how I feel.
You shouldn't
that's
think about that.
that's the way Cardiff
That's what he
Council
says
make you
to me.
feel, basically. They don't give you no hope.
Have
know
you
what I mean?
thought about going anywhere else?
But that's why you said
tried
I tried
Bridgend.
to Bridgend, and Bridgend was gonna do something about their houses until he got in touch with these, and he reckoned we had a care duty in Cardiff. But
Seriously.
I've been homeless 4 years before.
So what is it?
mentioned
What engagement are you having with services in Cardiff right now?
None.
If it isn't just for picking up methadone, what is the duty of care they are?
Well, we've been speaking to the city centre team and stuff. haven't
Well,
we?
the city,
Yeah.
like I said before, the city centre team are only there just to give you like a cup of coffee.
Who are the city centre team?
Apparently they work for the council.
Oh, the city wardens then, yeah. I think they're really good.
Yeah,
No, not them kind of people. Like,
Okay.
like, do you know, Leah?
like volunteers.
Like they
Okay.
go around basically in the mornings, like giving you cups of coffee and stuff. They work with the Woolwich in
Oh,
Cardiff.
so they're just So,
So-
apart from them, like have you got a housing officer? Have you got?
nothing like that.
Nothing.
We
Are you
did
on a
have-
list?
We did have support workers, but my support worker left, and you've never had support.
I've
worker?
never had. I've asked for support workers, key workers.
I will always say I think the problem is what you're highlighting as well, which is kind of solidifying my thoughts. That if you have got a drug problem, yeah, and they say you have to go through this hostel to get a house,
Yeah.
knowing that this hostel is ridden, it's full of drug use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you going to help these people get a house? They're going to die
Exactly.
before they get that
Yeah.
house. My dad
Exactly.
always says it. It's like going to a Gamblers Anonymous in a
Yeah.
bookies or
Yeah.
an AA meeting in a pub.
Yeah.
You go into these places and it's just, and that's not their fault. These,
No.
No.
But what can you do? There needs to be another way out. And I just,
Basically, if they're gonna put you somewhere, like I said, they'll put you in somewhere and they leave you to your own devices. Then, so they don't check on you, or unless you're ill. If you're ill, really ill,
Sometimes they
and-
don't even do that.
But they're supposed to check on you every couple of hours or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't even do that. Like, it's like it's just really hard to explain. Like, you know what I mean? But it's something's going on, like corruptness. Yeah, I think, to be honest with you.
do you think you two will ever split up?
No.
No. Only time we're gonna split up if I'm dead and gone.
He's my soulmate. I've known him since.
I've
I was
loads of
15.
pieces. I've known Vicky since the age of 15. So yeah.
Well, don't you think if you're thinking about killing yourself, that's one reason you
that-
shouldn't?
That's what's stopping me. That's exactly what stopped me and my kids as well, basically. But I need a home to better myself, even
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. It's hard to keep clean on the streets. It's hard to keep your hands clean and
It
whatever.
is, yeah.
It's hard to stop people from judging you as well, like, you know what I mean? Because people do look at you and judge you, like, you know, which you haven't got the right to do, like, just like you haven't got the right to judge them, but they
Yeah.
do anyway. Yeah, it's
I think we just get targeted like with the same brush
Well,
once
that's
you've been
what- that's
seen
all
sitting
we are.
there. They just have a brush and they target you all with
That's
that
what-
one
that's
brush.
it.
Like,
Yeah. Look, the house, if you did get housed, I don't think that's the be all and end all. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done with the two of you.
Yeah.
I think if in your heart you are ready to change, that is the biggest
Definitely.
and best thing. We do with all our guests is kind of, we ask them to look down that camera.
mhm.
And if there's a message you would like to give out to the public who will see this, it might be to the council. I don't know, but what do you want to say?
Well, like I said, to the public, thank you ever so much for helping us out as much as you can. There's only so much you can do, but thank you for being there.
The ones that did
Um,
that, yeah.
I'm not going to thank the council for nothing because they've done nothing for us anyway. So yeah, like I said, the public have done more for us and more
And,
the council have
Yeah,
done
I
to
want to
us.
say
Full
as
stop,
well
period.
that when we do get out, we are on our feet. Something I've always wanted to do is give a little back, and that's back to the public, like maybe go around with clothes
Yeah.
or maybe go around with food or sandwich packs or something like, something that we can give back to say thank
That's
you.
really sad
Yeah.
you're saying that because you're not even there yet.
I
like
know.
it is like you're thinking about other people. I think that's really sad to hear.
No,
And
it's not just about us, though. It's
Oh,
about
of
us all,
course.
innit,
And I think you talking about this here will hopefully raise awareness for future couples.
I hope it
I
does.
hope it does.
If there's one thing the council could do to change, what would it be?
A key.
Yeah, a key. And I'd be willing to give him like weekly urine tests to say
Urine
that,
tests.
that my
Drug
my
test,
body's
Not urine test, drug test.
okay. Drink, you
Just
know,
giving you-
whatever.
test.
I say that, don't worry.
But no, I'm willing to do that as well. Just to get a home, like, you know what I mean, so I can spend my money on it and what have you, instead of buying drugs and what have you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, thank you very much,
No,
guys.
no,
It's-
no
It's been a
problem.
pleasure. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have. I'm hoping you'll go from here and hopefully feel a bit more positive.
Yeah.
Oh, and to be honest with you as well, I need to get this one in as well. It's like everywhere I go, I see like needles on the floor.
Oh.
and,
Okay.
yeah.
Drug consumption rooms, yeah?
Yeah.
We
So,
wanted to ask for
I
those.
reckon they should have something like that. So they can't have the needles unless they have them back. That's so we can get rid
Once
of them.
they've used
So
them.
it'd be no needles on the floor. It'll be like safely disposed of, obviously.
Yeah.
And like, how can I say? It'd be
I
the
actually
best.
stood on a needle down the Higgett and caught Hep C from that needle in the shower.
What?
Yeah, and I had Hep C for 6 months. I didn't know I had. It was very, very ill.
Yeah.
And when I went to the ward, they said, I thought they were going to tell me I had COVID. And they said, no, you've got a bloodborne virus, this is why you're very ill. And I had it for 6 years before I knew about it,
Yeah.
didn't I? And I caught that stamping on a needle in the Higgett Centre in the showers. And so I was taking these big tablets every single day for 3 months.
To kill it off.
To kill it off. And thankfully, my body kicked it out, it got rid of it. So every couple of months now, I make sure, like, because I'm sleeping out, even though I'm not sleeping around sharps, I always make sure I always get that test done, like,
Yeah.
just to make sure it doesn't come back.
So what are some of the myths then with Hep C? What did you think of Hep C before you had the medication you was given? Did you think that was the end of the world or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt I just couldn't understand why I was waking up every day feeling really ill, like hot, cold, sweating, shivers, too weak to go to the toilet, very,
No, I
very
had to
ill.
carry you to the toilet.
That's when
didn't
I said Gav had to carry me. But I thought, well, I had an infection as well from the floor, but I stood on a needle and I thought nothing of it, didn't realise, like, and yeah, so that Hep C made me so ill. I really thought I was at death's door,
I
like,
caught it as well.
And Gav caught it off me then, but his body kicked it out because he was strong enough to do that on his own. Whereas my body wasn't strong
No.
enough, so I had to have.
Well, so you caught it and you didn't have medication.
No.
His body kicked it out straight
They
away.
tested my body. You could see I had it, but also you could see my body have kicked it out
He
as
was
well. like,
fighting, his body
yeah,
was
I know,
fighting on his
amazing,
own.
innit?
But my body wasn't strong enough through the kidney infection, which I caught sleeping on the Higgett floor. So with the infection and the hep, my organs would have been shutting down.
Yeah.
So I was really, really poorly. And I thought I didn't know what was going on. I just didn't know what was going on. I was shaking, like I'd had a drink, just proper ill, like, and I'd never want to have that again.
No.
Ever, ever,
This is
ever.
why
So
I
it is
say-
treatable though, yeah? Just for the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
out
it
there.
was treatable.
It's-
But it's about
years
2
ago-
in, like, you know, do you know what I mean?
years
I'm glad we
ago-
didn't
I
get
know
in,
it's
yeah.
treatable. I'm just for the people.
I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
hepatitis C, and the hepatitis I had was treatable. Years ago, it used to be an injection. Now they give you a
Violent
tablet
as well, wasn't
form. Very violent, yeah. Actually, the injection was actually killing people as well. But now it's tablet form, and you just take one a day, 3 months, every morning, and it gone.
Yeah.
So it's
Thank
worth
God.
just getting yourself checked out, guys. If people are listening, have your finger pricked once every 6 months.
Yeah,
I think it is.
definitely.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why I say we should have those rooms. 'Cause we know when there's not going to be no needles around for our kids to pick up.
Well, I've actually seen Gav pick a
grandchildren.
needle off the floor and actually taking it to the
I have,
Royal
yeah.
Infirmary to get rid of him.
Yeah, I have, yeah. So
know?
Well
do
done,
my
guys.
part.
And of course, like, there's so many benefits for it because if you're going to these drug consumption rooms, I always say it, you're going to get people engaging. You could have your probation or your key worker at those drug consumption rooms. So they have their check-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have their drugs. You can test the strength of the drugs. You know, maybe they could even supply them, you know. So they're not,
Yeah.
No, but I'm serious.
I know,
Like, this
right?
is what it's like in other countries, you know.
Yeah.
Have a haircut, have something to eat.
Yeah.
All these things that we could do, it's daft. And you're right. The way they just willy-nilly give out a bag full of needles, it
Yeah.
just baffles me.
Yeah.
You know, and if they can only have one and you don't get any more and everyone plays ball with that,
Yeah.
they have to go back to
So
this
we
drug
go
consumption
take
room
our
to get
back
their
in
other
to get
one.
another one.
Go on,
Yeah.
Yes. Because these people out here who go, oh, we can't have drug consumption rooms, are the same people who are complaining about needles in parks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and we got to grow up in life. We need to be more mature about this and know that
Course.
people take drugs. It's a fact.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you know, as soon as we stop playing that cat and mouse game
Mm-hmm.
and we think, right, what are we going to do to make it safer? I think we might be able to save a lot of lives. And at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah,
same time,
definitely.
I think some people will be disheartened with taking drugs because I think the big part of taking drugs is it's naughty. It's you know, we're
Yeah.
not meant to do this. But if it ends up being a part of the system,
Yeah.
it's do you know what? I can't be bothered doing this
A
anymore.
vicious circle, as we say.
I can't be bothered seeing my work and getting a haircut no more. No, but yeah, no, I'm all for DCR rooms as well. And I think it's a
Definitely.
really good point.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. Right then, well, thank you so much, guys.
problem.
No,
Is
thank
there
you for
anything
having
else
us.
you would like to quickly say, or
I think I've covered it.
I just hope.
I just hope this does make a difference.
Yeah.
If not for us, for people in the future that are couples or anybody that's on the streets, basically. Yeah.
But as the council to do with it, a lot to do with it.
Hates the council.
you said
Can't
it
stand
about
the
12, you said it
council.
about 12 times, mate.
Sorry.
But listen, what we might do is we might give you a follow up in about 6 months' time.
Yeah,
or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love that. well,
hopefully, you might call me and it'd be before that. But
yeah,
Hey,
we'd
might
love
give us
that.
might give us a place now after this. We never know.
let's put it out there and find out.
And
innit?
pigs might fly.
I was just going to say, I'll get up my head.
Thank you so much, guys.
No worries.
No,
No,
thank you for having us
Yeah.
as well. Thank you.
The Central Club.